Okay, today we're going to talk about books, specifically hand-bound books and rebound books, all done by yours truly. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer. I go by Jenna, and I own Chic Sparrow, and I like to do things with leather and paper and fabric and just all kinds of things. And today I wanted to talk about books because I, as a hobby, like to rebind books. I also like to hand bind books. And we're going to talk about all the different ones that I've done. And I'm also going to start offering these in my shop. So if you'd like to get your hands on any of these, you can look forward to that. So this is a traveler's notebook, and if you've been around for a while, you know that I absolutely love these, and these are basically the backbone of my online business. We make these here in the United States, in case you didn't know. We make them ourselves. We don't farm that out. We do it ourselves. I am a very hands-on type of a person, and we have a workshop that we all work in, and that's how it's done. So it's very personal. Your stuff is made by us for you at the time you order it. So you place an order, and then we make it specifically for you. So that is how we work. But let's go back in time. This is 2023. This is a tome. And I wanted a sketchbook. So I took Strathmore drawing paper, or maybe it was multimedia, I'm not sure. But I made this sketchbook out of that, and the spine is made of leather, and I added some little gold decals. They didn't stick very well, but they're there nonetheless. I even bound, or I did the I hand sewed the headbands and the tail bands. That one you can see a little bit better. There's a bookmark. And I hand tore every single edge. So you can see the edge there. I hand tore every single one of them. And honestly, this is one of my favorite books that I have ever done. It has this cute little bee clasp that has like a little bee butt that flips up and down to hold your strap in place. And then I used hardboard, and this is canvas, I think, with a bee theme, of course, because I love the bees. And then inside, it kind of wrinkled. I have since learned how not to do that, although it still happens sometimes, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me that much because I try not to look at it. And then I made an index, which I didn't really fill out. I haven't worked in this. Also, I hand dyed every single page, is all tea dyed. And then I treated it to make it pH neutral so that it wouldn't age. But I absolutely love this book so much. And you can see the pages. The camera is not doing this justice. The pages are just absolutely stunning. I love everything about them. And let me see if I can... Oh, that broke. Okay. There we go. Anyway, I just love everything about this. I just love big books, and this is the first like giant book that I ever made. For reference, this is a sheet of, let me see here. Okay, this is a sheet of paper, like a regular size printer paper, and it's only about half an inch, maybe maybe 5/8 of an inch wider, and it's about the same height than the other thing. And I do have drawings in here, but I'm not going to go through them. This was a lot of fun to do, but I do have quite a few drawings in here because I like to draw in it. But yeah, it's just, I love this book. And I actually made this one after, like, so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. So this big guy here sits on my shelf, and I pull it out whenever I feel like drawing in it. But I absolutely love everything about this book. This is done in the old English style binding here. So this part is not, but the binding part is, but this is not. So yeah, sometimes I like to mix it up and do my own thing. And I probably should have showed you this one first, but this is one that we did, my husband and I did together. We did this before the bee book, and uh, we just wanted it to look like old and beat up and, you know, like super, super old. And we kind of followed the English style. This is sewn on cords, and no fake bumps here. This is all real cords that it was put on, and then we bound it in leather. So inside is the same pretty much. My husband has not used this at all. It didn't have end sheets big enough for it, so we kind of just improvised a little. But the pages are all hand dyed with tea. They're all tea dyed. They have tons of texture. It's the same Strathmore paper. And he hasn't touched it. So I'm probably going to steal this from him once my bee book is done. And I will, it'll be my sketchbook. I don't know how many pages it has. A lot. I don't know. I guess I could count them, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But it was made basically the same way. I love these rough edges. I think they're so pretty. I love the tea dye. These two books took, I want to say this one took like a week to make, about a week, with all the tea dyed paper and everything. And then, you know, the sewing and all of that took about a week. It has leather headbands, and let me see if I can show you. There we go. It has leather headbands, and then it has tail bands as well. And you could see the kind of texture that we did to it. But I love this. I think it's so pretty. It's just, I actually like this more than the bee book, but I wanted to do something different with the bee book, and I had that little bee clasp, and I wanted to try it out, so I did. Okay, so that is like a traditional book binding, and here I have another traditional one, and I think I showed you this one. I think I did a video on this one. But I'm going to pull these out so that I can show you, because I have so much stuff here. Oops. There we go. Now I don't have to keep bending over to get that. So this is actually a moleskin inside, and I called 2018 and 2019 Year of the Kraken. Both of those years were really hard on me, but you know, that's all relative. But I just love the cover art here. I think it's a lot of fun, and this is actually a piece of the Hatter leather, and I put a Bible verse on the back, which says Yahweh is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit, which I really needed that year, so I'm thankful that I have it. I have to show you the back because the front has my address on it. But this is a rebind, and so a rebind is when I take the original cover off and I put a new cover on, and that's what I did with this one. And I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. All of the leather is folded over the edges, so that's called the fold over. And it's all folded over, and then new end sheets are put in place, and the book is good to go. It opens all the way. And yeah, so that is that one. Like, I have so many, but I just love books. I'm always doing book things. This is a composition book that I covered in some leather. You can see it's had a lot of use. And I don't want to I want to make sure that there's no addresses or anything showing. That one's got my phone number. Okay, well, yeah, so with this one, this is not really a rebind because the original cover is there. It's right here. What I did was I just took a piece of leather and I glued it or laminated it onto here. There's no fold over. It's just kind of just laminated onto it. And it holds up really, really well. The glue that we use is a permanent glue, and it really doesn't come off. So yeah, that's that style. And I do this kind of often, and I kind of like it. Let me show you some more like that. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to show you that one later, so we're going to put that there. But like, here's a Bible that I did that way. Whoops. So it's just wrapped around, like you can see that there's no fold over. You can see the raw edge of the leather even though it's been buffed and everything. But that is how this one was done. It's just wrapped around. And yeah. I have others that I've done that way. This is a moleskin, I think. Whoop. Okay, so this is a moleskin that has been done that way. The edges are dyed blue to match the cover, and it has a tiny little bit of a yap, but it still is a nice flexible way to do it. So that one, and then I have another one here, which is just this has very faint lines on it. I don't know if you can see them, but it's done the same exact way, where we just wrap leather around it and adhere it, and this one's coming up right here for some reason, so that'll be fixed. But that is what that one looks like. These have been sitting on a shelf downstairs because we used these to practice with when I thought maybe I might do Bible rebinding, but I decided I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that field. This is another one that's done exactly the same way. Where this is just matched up with the text block exactly. So, you know, another one that has really faint lines, and then it has gold on the edges, and we painted it green, so you could kind of see the green under there, especially like that. So it's gold and green. So very fun. And that is a perfectly fine way to do it if that's what you want. It's not my preference though, but there's nothing wrong with it. And then this is what is this? A dot grid something or another. Don't know what brand it is. Probably a generic brand of some sort. And we did red edges and a green cover. And yeah, these ones. Okay. Has writing in it. I recognize that handwriting. I know whose this was. But anyway, so there's that style, which is just, you know, just the paste on method. And I have lots of them, but let me get them out of the way. Out of the way. Oh, okay. And then there's another one that I love the way this looks, by the way. I know it's been sitting in my office actually and hasn't gotten any use. It has leather on the outside. This is what leather is this? I don't know. Is this maple wood? It could be, but you can see that it's been sitting, so it's kind of gotten weird patterns. But with use, you're not even gonna ever notice that. And then, so it's got a folded over edge, and then the inside is leather as well, okay? And it's just been sitting. It needs to be worked out. And this is a Lloydstrom 1917 that we rebound. And I say we because Again, this is a Bible rebinding technique that we were testing out, because once upon a time I thought I might want to get into that, but I don't. Turns out I don't. So this was just practice. This was a practice piece. An experiment, if you will. So that's another style. Okay, so it's soft, it's flexible, and it's going to age so nice. What did I do with my journal? So that's mine. That's the back. Hang on. This is the one I'm currently using. And this is also a rebind, and I can show you stuff in here. So this is a different style of rebind. This is hardback. This is soft, flexible. Okay, so very nice and soft. Some people really prefer that soft bound look. What is going on here? Okay, well, yeah, this is really hard to do and get right. All of it is, actually. I can't even tell you how many that I've messed up and had to redo, and I'm gonna get to that one, like the latest one that gave me so much grief, but it's okay. It's, but like in here I haven't put in papers in yet, but you can see that the leather folds over the board and the corners are protected. This is my preferred way to do it. I prefer that it folds over, and then there's end papers that come over it and would cover it, which I haven't put in yet because this was actually a rebind of a Miquel Ruiz notebook, which I can't find anymore. I've had this since like 2014, and the binding on it was pretty stiff and I couldn't really like use it. And now that the binding is a lot looser because I rebound it, I love writing in it. Like I want to use it all the time. I take it with me absolutely everywhere, and if I misplace it, my husband helps me find it because he knows. Okay, if you know, then you know. But yeah, so this is my preferred way to do it. I'm gonna put that one right here for now. And then this is another one. Hey, so I really love this, like the way leather patinas. So any chance I get to bind a book in a natural leather, I take it. And this is an Emma. Okay, and it has a little bit of color change happening up there, but this is Emma. And again, these are all experiments. I did a little bit of gold tooling on the inside. I decided I didn't like it and I quit. And then my knife slipped and I cut like a little gash right there. So not very happy about that, but you know what? It's an experiment and you learn from your experiments. So that's cool. And then inside has this very faintly pink paper with kind of like a very faint rose pattern on it. But it was just make like a really lovely journal. I think it's really pretty. But yeah, and it has a bookmark. So, but yeah, any chance I get to use this leather, I take it because I love it. I love it. So there's that. And then I have one more to show you that's bound like a Bible. This one has a yap. So a yap it was originally designed to help protect small Bibles from rain while you're walking to church. And I think it was made by a man named, last name Yap, Y-A-P-P. But yeah, so for small books, this is not that small. It's an A5 Slim. There we go. And I think it's a moleskin. It is. I'm positive it is because it's got this little sticker right here. And it has a pen test in the back. Blank paper. Moleskin. But it has like these pleated edges, pleated corners, leather lined, and leather on the outside. And it's just, it's a lot of fun. It would make a fun little sketchbook. So these are my experiments, and I had a lot of fun doing them. Now let me show you some of the latest stuff that I've done. Okay, so there's this book here, which has kind of like a blind embossing on it, which I think is really pretty. The spine has, these are fake hubs. Okay, they're artificial hubs, but it's got 4 of them, and I like that look. That's why I do it. And then it's got some tooling marks on the back and a little bit of gold smudge, a little smudge there of gold. But it's got like this little box there. I don't know if I can clean that off. Let me try. Let me try. See what I can do. Probably not going to cut it, but it's worth trying. This leather is Darcy? No, it's Moreland from the Austin collection. So I don't think, I don't know, it might have gotten it off. Yeah. So inside though is some paper that I found while I was out and about. It feels like old ledger paper. It's really nice. I like the way that it feels. It's very smooth. It's nice and thick. It's thicker than copy paper by quite a bit. It's ivory in color and it's super smooth. It holds ink very well. And the end pages are kind of like this old-timey floral pattern. And it wrinkled back here, which was the paper's fault, not mine. I blame the paper. But yeah, so there's this little book here. It's kind of, I don't remember how big it is, but it's small. Okay, so if this is an A5, there you go. It's not quite an A6, but practically an A6 size. So that one. I like this. This is bound. It has head and tail bands. It is sewn. Like you could see the stitching right there, maybe. Maybe not. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Like, I see the thread. You might not be able to see it, but this is hand stitched by me. And I rounded it a little bit. It was really hard to do, but again, I'm experimenting, and also I'm just having fun because I like it. So that was one of the latest ones that I did, and then this next one, I wanted it to look like this, and it has hubs here, and you know, just basic. I was gonna put a brass nameplate here. I haven't. I may still. But that is what this guy was supposed to look like. And I used recycled boards from an old sketchbook. But you can see that it has turn-ins. Okay, and I like my corners to look just so. But the problem is when I put the text block in, the text block was just ever so slightly too big this way. It was perfect up and down, but it was too big this way. So I went to trim it off, and I wasn't careful, and my trimmer made the angle of the book kind of go diagonal because it was my fault. I didn't do it right. And so then it ended up being too small. So I was like, okay, so I'll make another one. So I was already frustrated because I don't like it when I make mistakes. But, you know, we do. So then I only have a limited amount of leather at home that I can use. And I do all of this at home. Oh, that's gonna bug me. What is that? What are you? It looks green. Anyway, I put 6 hubs on it. I kind of like that. And this is goat skin. And you can see it already has like a patina going on, and I absolutely love it. I like the way it feels in the hands, and I wanted to put a little frame on here that's kind of embossed, and I like the way that looks, but I wasn't paying attention, and I did it upside down. So, and then there's this fold in the leather too that's right here. Nothing I can do about that. It's there. It didn't really bother me because, you know, it's kind of like a rusticy look. It was fine, but this upside down really bothers me because I think this is not the look I was going for. Yeah, so it really bothered me. And then this was the inside. Again, it's folded over, and the corners are nice and crisp, which I like. I just learned how to do that. I guess that's why I'm showing it to you, because I'm really proud of the results. So, okay, but this almost fit too. I think it did fit, but it was just wrong for the thing. So then I was like, okay, well, third time has to be the charm. And it almost wasn't. It almost sucked really, really bad. But I did 4 hubs this time, and it's kind of like not smooth here on the back here because I had to pry it apart and trim it down and then put it back together, and I just forgot to glue it. So it's a little bit not firm right there, but I may just go back and like figure out, I don't know. It's probably going to be like that forever. But here's the back, and it has like these little marks on it already. There's a bunch of little marks. This is also goat skin. And then I got the front right, and it has the little clips from where it was hanging to dry after it had been tanned. And I got this in the right position. I'm very happy about all of it. I like it. I'm happy. And I did some speckling, and it has headbands up here as well. And I did some speckling because I like that look. And I bet you can't tell which one I started with. I started here, and I kept getting these big giant drops, which was kind of annoying. But I did a little better here, and then I figured it out up here. So again, another experiment. Inside is the same paper as last time, but these are the end sheets, which are nice and sturdy. Nothing weak here. And again, it's folded over. These are same edges as here. Whoops. Same deal. So the paper is that like old-timey ledger paper that just feels fantastic. I actually think what it is it's book paper for printing books on. I think that's what it is. But I have no way of knowing because the packaging doesn't say anything at all about what it is. In fact, the packaging is just clear plastic like this. And it says nothing. No stickers, nothing. There's not a single watermark on it. Nothing. So I love the way it feels though. It feels fantastic. I think this has like 300 and something pages in it. But I'm so happy with the way this turned out. I love that it has character already, because now when whoever gets this, because I'm not going to keep it, but whoever gets this will be able to use it without fear of ruining it because it already has character. All right, so I have no idea where I left off, but let me tell you that you can see here that how it bows in just ever so slightly. That is what you want when you do bookbinding, because if you don't want it to curve outward, you know, and be like whoop. You don't want it to be that way. You want it to be kind of in this way. So that is actually a good sign. I'm always really careful to make sure that my paper the grain of it is going from head to tail so the grain goes with the spine of the book up and down, and also for the book boards to have that same grain. That way, as if the book swells because of humidity, it's not going to tear the book apart, and also the pages are going to not tear apart because they are folded with the grain rather than against it. And so that's something to keep in mind as well for bookbinding. Some people care about that kind of thing, other people don't. This is also the same way, So anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Let me give you a really quick shop update. I just love this. I am going to make one for myself, but right now I'm using this and I'm loving it. I did scrape the gold off of it because I don't know, it didn't turn out the way I wanted and I didn't really like it. I am currently about a quarter of the way through. Yeah, about a quarter, maybe a little less than a quarter. Yeah, but I love it. I'm currently in that one. When I need to make a new one, I will. But for now, that's what we're using. So let me give you a little bit of a shop update. These are going to go in the shop. They are going to be called experimentals. And so if you want one, grab it. They are one of a kind. I will not be repeating them. No two are ever like. They're little snowflakes, okay? They will be called experimentals though because they were experiments. And so they will be priced accordingly. Here's the update on the magic folder and the pen case, which is going to look like this in the end. It won't have the feathers, but it will be this shape, not this shape. Okay, so it'll have this shape here. But let's talk about the magic folder first. So this is how it will look. I did these on the laser. So that's why you see kind of like the burned here. Yours is not going to be made on the laser. Okay, yours will not be made on the laser. Yours is going to be made with die cuts, and I have ordered those. They will be coming. I did make a little bit of a change here. So the 2K means 2026. Okay, and the reason why I didn't put 2026 is because I didn't really want people thinking that this was made in the year 2026, even though the first ones will be. But after that, I just kind of want the 2K26 just means it was designed in the year 2026. So that's why I did it a little bit different. This is a piece of wabi-sabi with different, different leather on the inside. And yours, some of them will be like that. So it's got wabi-sabi on one side and this brown leather on the other side. So yeah, but that's how that's going to look. Pretty cool, huh? I like it. Also, let me tell you about this too. So this is 4 pieces of leather. 6 pieces if you count the straps. But it's 4 pieces of leather, and inside these pieces here, there is a piece of board that gives it strength and makes it firm. Now you're not going to be able to see the board from the outside because we hide it. Okay, so I have seen where people will put a stiffener in there and you can totally see it on the edge. We don't do that. We figured out how to hide it, and so we do. But you will see that this is very firm. It almost feels like a book. And you can put, you can trust it to hold your things and not crumple. And, I mean, it's still flexible, but it's not super flexible. So anyway, that's the magic folder. So that will be here in a couple of weeks. And then the pen cases. I just want to show you a couple things about the pen cases. So somebody was concerned last time I showed this that the pens would rub up against each other, and as you can see, they do not. Now this Benu pen is quite large, and even it doesn't rub anything else. So there is plenty of space in there. They don't touch at all. Nothing touches. All the way down, like I don't think you can see all the way down, but there's nothing touching, you know, this side does not touch that side. And I'm going to be taking these here and I'm going to center them both so they will be centered between the flaps right here. Uh, but yeah, so this is the pen case. This is the final shape of it. This is what it will look like. But these are going to be up a little bit. And then the other thing that I thought I would do is I'm going to make little inserts that if you have small pens that don't have clips, although I don't really have these much of clips on here, but let's say you have the Kaweco Sport and you don't have a clip on it. I'm going to make little inserts that you can stick inside the loops and it will make your pen nice and snug so that it's not going to slide around and everything. So that was one of the fixes that I had for that situation. But I'm really happy with these. I love it so much. It goes with me everywhere as well. And then the last little thing I'm going to tell you about is this it's not antique, it's vintage. Okay, so this die is really unique. You can see there's the maker's thing here. I will put the feathers down as well. I'm going to put them right here. I tried it there. I don't like it, so I'm going to put it right here. But we're talking about the die. The die is a vintage look. Okay, no two will ever be the same. It is completely serendipitous, if you want a better word, but it has different every time. So if you want the vintage look, we can do it. However, it's unpredictable and you can't really specify how you want it to look in the end because we can't control it. So if there's a specific look that you're wanting, we're not going to be able to duplicate it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This one looks like on the inside. And this is what it started out as on the outside as well. So this here was this. It was Emma. And then I didn't do the inside. I just left it like that. But yeah, so just different pens. I was experimenting, trying to see what would fit and everything. But yeah, so if you want this look though, this vintage die job on any of your Austins that you would normally get like an antique. This is like a really light antique look on this one. So if you buy the antique and the order notes say that you actually want the vintage look, then we will do the vintage. Just please keep in mind on your notebooks and everything that with the antique we can kind of duplicate to a certain extent certain looks like ink splatters and everything like that. With this one, it's totally random. We cannot, like, you can put as detailed a description as you want in there, but we will not be able to do that for you. So please, 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 it's random. Okay, I think I made my point. Yeah, I made my point. Anyway, the die cuts for these are coming in a couple of weeks, so we will be able to start making them. And I did ask people in the group how I should do this because I just have boxes and boxes and boxes of remnant, and I just will not throw leather away. I won't do it. So this is a zero waste project. So all of these will be made from our remnant leather. That might be a little rough. It might have some scars or something like that on it. Like this one had, I don't know, it had something that knocked it out of being, oh, it had these like little weird marks that are all on the leather, but some people think that they're ink marks, but they came that way. So to me, it's natural to the leather, but people just, it's something people don't like. So we just quit sending them out with those because people didn't understand that we weren't actually putting ink on the leather. It just came that way. But anyway, neither here nor there. This is these will be sold by color family, not by leather type. Okay. Uh, and that's just because there's just no way logistically I could not put them. I just couldn't do it. And my brain is short circuiting right now trying to think of how to put these all up by leather type, and I can't do it. So uh, I do think I want to keep them in the vegetable tan leather. I will experiment with some of our chrome tan leather, like the campfire, I think would make a really nice case as well. But I do want to kind of stick with the vegetable tan leather for now, and who knows what the future holds. But for now, this is it. So this is what the final shape will be. The circle comes down a little bit more, and there's a little bit more space, so you can kind of see right there. See how it comes down just a little bit more, and I like that better. So anyway, these are going to come in a couple of weeks. I had thought I wanted to do like a pre-sale of them, but I just the I couldn't, I can't. So anyway, all right. I think that's all. That's enough sharing for today. I hope that you enjoyed my walk down memory lane and all the different books and everything. And I hope that you try having just one book for pretty much everything. I'm really enjoying it, although I do still have a traveler's notebook that I use, so it's not really one book for everything. But pretty much if it's not about business, it goes in here. And I keep like the business stuff out of here because I like to have the separation of between church and state. So um yeah, but that's it for today. Okay, so um put this little guy here because he's cute, right? So cute. Okay, have a great day.